Hold on to your seats, football fanatics. This isn't just another Manchester derby, it's a clash charged with an electrifying tension we haven't witnessed in years. Is this the season the Sky Blue Empire finally wavers, or will the reigning champions unleash a furious response? The unthinkable has happened. Manchester United enters this derby higher in the league table for the first time in what feels like an eternity. Can they truly upset their rivals at the Etihad once more, especially with history hinting at a goal-laden spectacle? City desperately needs this victory to reignite their season, making this a truly unmissable encounter. Tactically, we're set for a fascinating chess match. Manchester City will likely deploy their familiar 4-3-3, aiming for a possession-based stranglehold and threading through balls. Their strength lies in carving out chances, but an Achilles heel emerges in individual errors and vulnerability against elusive, skillful players. Manchester United, in stark contrast, might opt for a defensive 3-4-2-1, prioritizing solidity. They excel at crafting opportunities through sheer individual brilliance and are formidable in aerial duels. Both sides, interestingly, are potent on the counterattack. But here's the rub: United struggles to convert their chances, while City has shown a concerning inability to protect a lead. Will these contrasting weaknesses define the outcome? Both Manchester Giants face significant injury crises, casting long shadows over their strategies. City is particularly stung, with key midfield general Mateo Kovacic and dynamic attacker Omar Marmush sidelined. The potential absence of creative spark Phil Foden further thins their attacking arsenal. And here's a massive curveball: Gianluigi Donnarumma could be thrust into a derby debut in goal, a true baptism of fire. United isn't spared, missing defensive linchpins Lisandro Martinez and Noussair Mazraoui, with striker Mateus Cunha also doubtful. Intriguingly, United might also field a new goalkeeper, Sen Lamens, adding an unprecedented layer of defensive uncertainty for both sides. The Premier League table, just a few games in, tells a truly surprising tale. Manchester City, uncharacteristically, languishes in 13th place with a mere 3 points, having even stumbled in their sole home fixture so far. Meanwhile, Manchester United occupies 9th with 4 points, a rare sight indeed, seeing them above City at this early stage. City dominates possession, nearing 2/3 of the ball on average, but their goal conversion rate is alarmingly low. United, despite a deluge of shots, converts an even paltrier 1 in 14 attempts. Both teams, however, average around 5 corners per game. Could this consistent corner count signal a potential value bet in that market? Manchester City's recent form has been navigating incredibly turbulent waters. They've secured a mere 2 victories from their most recent 5 encounters. In the Premier League, they suffered a disappointing 2-1 away loss at Brighton, squandering a halftime lead. Before that, an unexpected 2-0 home defeat against Tottenham sent shockwaves through the Etihad. Their solitary Premier League triumph was a commanding 4-0 away at Wolves. With 2 home losses in their last 2 competitive matches, City's home ground, once an impenetrable fortress, now appears surprisingly vulnerable. Could this spell a rare opportunity for those backing the away side? Manchester United's recent run reveals a distinctly mixed bag of results, with only a solitary triumph from their previous 4 fixtures. They clinched a vital 3-2 home victory against Burnley in their last Premier League outing, a much-needed morale boost. However, their away form has been notably shaky, featuring draws against Grimsby in the League Cup and Fulham in the Premier League. They also suffered a narrow home loss to Arsenal. United hasn't tasted victory in an away game across their last 2 attempts. Can they carry the spirit of last December's morale-boosting derby win into enemy territory, or will their road woes persist? Diving into general statistics from recent matches, Manchester City's games have been a spectacle of goals, approaching 3 scored per game, but also conceding approximately 2. Crucially, in their recent home fixtures, they've been leaking an average of 3 goals per match, a glaring defensive vulnerability right in their own backyard. Manchester United, in contrast, maintains a more balanced ledger, both scoring and conceding around 1.5 goals per match. City's overall recent win rate is a mere 2/5, while United has drawn a full 2 of their last 4 matches, hinting at a tendency for stalemates, especially when playing away from home. Does this open the door for a high-scoring thriller, or a tightly contested draw? The head-to-head record between these fierce rivals is, surprisingly, a deadlock of rivalry. In their most recent half-dozen clashes, we find a perfect three-way split of victories, stalemates, and defeats for both teams, underscoring the intensity of this fixture. Intriguingly, their last Premier League encounter ended in a rare 0-0 draw. Historically, City edges the scoring, averaging 1.5 goals per match to United's 1. Yet, United boasts a robust track record of winning at the Etihad. Keep a keen eye on the first half. Goals are often scarce, with fewer than 1 goal scored on average by either side before the break. Could United's away day derby magic strike again? This is where it gets really interesting. A deep dive into head-to-head goal patterns reveals a tale of two cities. Manchester City scored 2/3 of their derby goals at home, but devastatingly, they conceded every single one of their 6 head-to-head goals at the Etihad. That, my friends, is a monumental defensive red flag. Conversely, Manchester United scored all 6 of their derby goals away from home, and precisely 0 at their own ground. This stunning asymmetry screams that United transforms into a far more dangerous attacking force on City's turf. In the first half of these clashes, City conceded each of their 3 first-half goals at home, while United netted each of their 3 first-half goals away. This is critical, granular data for the astute bettor looking at first-half markets. Height can be a silent but potent weapon, particularly in set-piece battles and aerial duels. Manchester United, interestingly, holds a slight physical edge here. Their defenders average a crucial 4 centimeters taller than City's, and their goalkeeper also towers over his counterpart by a single centimeter. Midfielders for both teams stand at the same average height, and surprisingly, so do the forwards. This modest yet measurable height advantage for United's defensive line could be a pivotal factor, especially when defending against crosses or launching their own set-piece attacks, complementing their known strength in aerial duels. Could this aerial prowess be the differentiator in a tight game? When we consider the average age of the players, both teams present a remarkably similar profile across their squads. Manchester City's defenders, forwards, and midfielders all fall squarely in their mid-20s. Their goalkeeper, a youthful 22, offers a slight contrast. Manchester United's players also mirror this age bracket, with defenders averaging 25, forwards 24, and midfielders 27. This striking similarity suggests neither side possesses a significant age-related advantage or disadvantage across their core positions. In this evenly matched aspect, other elements will undoubtedly become the deciding factors. Player ratings offer a fascinating snapshot of individual form and quality. Manchester City generally parades slightly higher-rated players across most positions. Their defenders and forwards both command a small but discernible rating edge over United's. However, the most striking contrast emerges between the sticks. City's goalkeeper boasts a significantly superior rating, approaching a formidable 7 out of 10, compared to United's more modest 6.1. This superior goalkeeping for City could prove absolutely crucial, especially considering United's well-documented struggles with consistently finishing their scoring chances. Will City's last line of defense prove impenetrable, or will United find a way through despite the odds? Now, let's cast a spotlight on the potential heroes for both sides. For Manchester City, Erling Haaland is, of course, a goal-scoring phenomenon, leading not just in goals, but also aerial duels won and Man of the Match awards. Oscar Bob and midfield maestro Bernardo Silva are their chief orchestrators, consistently delivering key passes. For Manchester United, Matthijs de Ligt stands as a defensive colossus, a powerhouse in aerial duels and a recipient of a Man of the Match award. Bruno Fernandes remains their attacking fulcrum, leading in key passes and chipping in with vital goals. Keep an eye on Benjamin Sesko, who, if he makes his debut, could be an immediate threat up front. Who will step up and etch their name into derby folklore? On the flip side, every team has its pressure points, its potential vulnerabilities. For Manchester City, Oscar Bob and Bernardo Silva are among those prone to committing the most fouls per game. Bernardo Silva also finds himself dribbled past quite frequently. For Manchester United, Luke Shaw leads in fouls, while Bruno Fernandes, despite his brilliance, is bypassed most often by dribblers. Several players from both squads have already earned themselves yellow cards this season. These individual tendencies could easily spark dangerous free-kick opportunities or lead to further disciplinary action in the intense heat of this derby. Will these individual struggles become collective liabilities? Examining the rhythm of goals for the season reveals intriguing patterns. Manchester City seems to truly come alive in the later stages of the first half, netting a flurry of 3 goals between the 30 and 40-minute mark. They also find the net around the hour mark and late in the game. Intriguingly, they concede goals within similar windows, particularly around the 30 and 40-minute mark, and again late on. Manchester United presents a different scoring cadence, with a solitary strike early in the second half, between 50 and 60 minutes, and another very late, after the 90-minute mark. They, however, tend to concede around the 20-minute mark and again in the second half. Could these patterns predict the ebb and flow of this derby's scoring? Considering the final frontier, the total goal count for the season. Manchester City's matches have been a high-scoring affair. 2/3 of their games have soared over 2.5 goals, and every single one of their encounters has seen over 1.5 goals. This strongly points towards open, attacking football with frequent goals. Manchester United's games are a tighter prospect. Only 1/3 of their matches have pushed past 2.5 goals. However, 2/3 of their matches still clear the 1.5 goal mark. For those eyeing the betting markets, City's games consistently lean towards higher goal totals, while United offers a more conservative, yet still goal-laden, narrative. Will this derby be a spectacle of goals, or a tactical stalemate?